All right, so I'm in the middle of a whole engine overhaul. I just put the DHM big bore kit on. So basically this is like the last finishing touch. Running this, there's gonna be a lot more crankcase pressure. So I got this oil catch can. I got this from Hard Racing. It's a Takagawa, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember which one. Basically the whole kit comes with everything you need. The only thing that's an option, it comes with this. This replaces your oil fill cap. There's an option for a Takagawa one for a Takagawa clutch cover, I guess. I didn't know it was for the clutch cover. I panicked and bought it, and it's huge, and there's no point because I don't even think that clutch cover exists. But either way, the kit comes with everything you need. You got the catch can itself. You got this mounting bracket, which goes right here. You're just gonna remove those two bolts. Sits right there. You're gonna put these little pads on this. What else? There was also these. You got the hose clamps here, and there's also covers, like little sleeves that go over that. I think I left those on my workbench, but I'll go grab those. Then you just got, they have one big line that you're gonna cut to size. And so just to give you an idea, so it's gonna be sitting at about here. You have 3 holes up here, which these go in, which the lines connect to. And then you have your crankcase breather, which mine, I don't think I can see at the moment. It's on the other side. Now, depending on what you run, you can run this with the stock air inbox. I'm sorry, with the stock air intake. It'll connect like right about down here. If you have the Chimera, I don't know if you remember putting it over there. The man in the box comes with a different line that goes straight to the filter on the mounting bracket. I run the Dinger belt. There is a spot back there, but I have my own little thing. So either way, you're going to use it. It's on the back of the case. That line's going to come out to here. I think that's what this union is for. This one. I'm pretty sure that's what this is for. You're actually going to put this in there and then have the line go to it. I'm pretty sure at least. Then this, like I said, replaces your oil filler cap. Have a line go from this to the catch can. And then I bought this separately. I was trying to find one that'll just slide right on to like one of these fittings. It should slide onto the hose, so I'll probably just cut a small one and just have it sit on top like this, basically. Just kind of have it sit up there. So it's going to be 2 lines, crankcase, oil filler, and then just a filter. And then you have a plug here. There's a bolt down there. There's a plug. It says put gasket on it. I didn't see a gasket in here. I don't know if they forgot it or if it doesn't come with one. I'll probably just put a little O-ring on it. I have a O-ring kit, so I'll just throw one on there that fits. And that's so you could drain it. I don't know how often you're supposed to drain it. I've never actually ran a catch can. I know how they work and what they're used for. This is my first time, but that's something to keep in mind. So I'm gonna go get everything I need and we'll start mounting this up. All right, so it's kind of hard to see. Everything's kind of dark, but I'm just gonna take these off. I don't know if these are different size bolts. Let me double check. Nah, they look the same. Oh no, well, nope, they're the same. All right, so that's cool. Now, the way you put it on, there's this little opening there for the hose clamp to go through, this little T on the bottom. It's gonna go just like that. Now just watch, because you got this here too. That holds your, what's that, temperature? Oil temp sensor, I think. Has a sensor wire on it. Also, fun fact, I don't really recommend using impact guns, especially on shit like this, just because they're a little too much. But your boy's in a rush. I don't know how this is supposed to go. I guess maybe just like that. All right, so that's on. Now, I'm gonna take this, if I can open it. So there's gonna be 2 of these little pads here. I'm gonna take these. Let's see. Probably should clean it first, but again, in a bit of a rush. I'm a little confused. It looks like only one fits. I thought it showed 2, but I'm really not too worried about it. So that's where it's gonna sit. It's gonna sit just like this. You can orient it, I guess, however you want. I'm gonna try to keep the, let me see if you can see that. There's the opening on the bottom. That's where I'm gonna put the filter. I'm gonna try to keep that as far away from the bike as possible, just because I feel like it would look better. might be easier for these to reach. Just my preference. I don't think you really have to worry about it too much. All right, so the camera fell. So you get a sleeve of this. It's like a rubber, like a thicker material. It's not the hose. So I mean, you really can't confuse the two, but don't do it. So I cut this basically in half, and then I just put it through this. So you would take these hose clamps apart, slide it over, put it over so there's a little sleeve, that way it'll protect it. So now what we gotta do, you have to put it through here, and then it looks like around the bottom also. So I actually have to take one of them apart. I think I can get the bottom one on though, just to hold it in place. All right, so there's one. All right, so it's on. It's really all there is to it, to mounting it. You know, 2 bolts, and then sleeve the hose clamps. You just gotta snake the one through here, start connecting that one. This one you can already have connected and just slide over. There's that little T. I don't know if you can see it from over there, but it like sits above the T. Yeah, I don't know if you can really see it now. You'll see what I'm saying though. So yeah, so that's on, that's good to go. So now I'm gonna take these, let's see, where did I put them? We have these little fittings. Yeah, so I don't know if these are supposed to have fittings on them or not. Or I'm sorry, O-rings on them, but they don't. This bottom one, like I said, I'm gonna put one. This is that bolt I was telling you about, the drain plug. I just have like a bunch of fucking O-rings, so I'm just gonna find one that fits. Just put an O-ring on there. What is this? Allen. Goes on the bottom. All right, so these are 10 mils. Just snug them up, don't go crazy. All right, it's all mounted up. So I'll tell you what, next what we're gonna do, we're gonna go put the oil cap on, and then we'll try to snake it over and see how long I need for that. All right, so take the oil cap off, take the O-ring off it, put it on that. And just thread it on. This looks like it's another 10, I believe. Oh, maybe not. That actually looks like a 12. And I know I have one. 12? Is that a 14? This could be anything at this point. That's a 14. You would think by now I know what these look like. Sorry, the line's in the way. I'm gonna have to reroute that a little bit because I don't want these hitting. Again, don't be a hero, just snug it down. So now I'm gonna take this and then I'm gonna snake it through. I think I'm gonna go over my intake. Just snake it through. You know what, let me go under this line. This is, you're gonna have to see how your setup is. With my setup, I got things going on that you might not. You might have things going on that I don't have going on. So you just gotta see what works for you. So I think I want it like that. You can go over the engine. I used to have a little one-way valve here. I didn't really like how it looked though. And this right here, so this line, this is what I was talking about. It goes right there. The man in the box one replaces this because it's like a pre-bent line kinda. The man in the box is a hose just like this one. So that union, I believe, just goes in this, and then that way you have this line that has a lot more play in it. So I'm gonna try to, let me see, how do I wanna do this? I'm gonna try to see if I can go under. Yeah, I think that's good. Maybe not, maybe I'll try to go over actually. I don't think it likes that. Actually, to be honest, I think mine's facing the wrong way. I think I should have tilted this a little. So I'm gonna have to go under. And then on the other side now, let me see. Yeah, that's good. So now we'll go on the other side. Look at that, popped off. Almost didn't catch that. So now I'm gonna go on the other side and we'll line them all up, see how much we need, and cut the size. All right, so a little trick for these hoses. there's a lot of like numbers on them, like part numbers and sizes and whatnot. I look for a number and use that as a reference. So in this case, I think that 75 is good. Let me double check. Make sure it's still on. So I'm gonna cut right above that 75, and that way I know when I put it on, that's how it's gonna sit, roughly. Like, you know, so you don't want to, if anything, you want to cut it a little too long, because once you cut it too short, that's basically it. You're gonna have to cut a whole new piece. But yeah, it looks like they give you plenty, because I really don't need that much. That other piece is right over here somewhere. I gotta find where that one, oh, it went right here. So I really don't need that much, so you do have a little bit of room for error, but why waste? So yeah, I'm gonna cut it that 75, get this on. There are these little hose clamps too. Where'd they go? Right here, so make sure you get these on. There's, what is this one for? That one looks special, and I don't know what it's for, but we'll figure it out. It's probably for this, but who knows? So yeah, so I'm gonna go cut these to size, hook them all up, and that's really all there is to it. All right. So it's been a couple weeks. I wanted to make sure that I ran this and, you know, seeing how it worked before I put the info out there, just because, and I'm glad I did, because I was getting a lot of blow by. So basically my original routing was the oil fill cap went to this. Then this, I had my filter, which I don't have near me, but it was a very small filter hole. So it basically was the same size as this. So I put a part of this line on to connect the two, but I think it was too thin. It wasn't really letting it vent properly. So I just have this going straight to atmosphere. I do want to run a line like towards the back maybe, but you know, for right now this is okay. But originally I had the filter here. This line went straight over to the oil fill cap. That's all that was. And then where I fucked up, I had the avail vent going to a T fitting. So it's basically a fitting with 3 ends. So one end was the vent, the other end was the crankcase breather, and then the other end went down to this. So where I actually spoke to David over at DHM, because I was getting a lot of fuel. Like that whole little puddle there, if you can see, was fuel from like a 25-minute ride, which it's expected to have fuel, but not nearly that much. That was a lot of fuel, and every single time I'd ride, I'd get a lot of fuel. So I spoke to him. I spoke to a few people, but he hit the nail on the head, it looks like. So what I did, he basically told me that my vent and my crankcase breather were basically fighting each other, and if it definitely wasn't releasing or relieving pressure. If anything, it was kind of adding to it technically. So now, in that kit, there's like a straight piece that you can connect 2 lines. So what I did, now again, if you don't have the avail vent, don't worry about this. You're gonna have the oil fill cap come to this, and then the breather come to this, and then that's really it. What I did with the vent, I actually I used the line, connected these, which you really could just connect one line, but either way, I have the avail vent going to this, and then the rear crankcase, I have just this filter. This is actually, this is the filter I was talking about. I had this one on this. It was a little too thin. I do want to get one that could just go straight over this with a little bit of a bigger port, but for now, this seems to be working a lot better. When I drain it, I do get a slight little bit, but again, that's expected, because especially with me running E85, it's much richer and you are going to get blow by. You know, if you're doing something like that, running race fuel or E85, you should actually change your oil more consistently, because it does get in there. I actually had this is with this issue, like before I fixed it, my oil smelled like straight fuel. You know, I was getting a lot in the oil, and that'll ruin the viscosity of the oil and make it basically useless, and you will burn everything up. So not good. So yeah, but basically, this is how I have it routed. Again, oil fill cap going to this, the avail vent going to this, and then just a breather or a filter on my rear crankcase breather. I'm sorry, I can't speak today. And it worked perfectly. Like I said, I do want to get a line that goes to this. I'll probably have it going out like the back of that little fairing there. But other than that, I love it. It works really well. It definitely releases some pressure as long as you route it correctly. So like I said, depending on what your setup is, I don't think there's really many other vent options. You know, like I don't know if a lot of people are running this. It was hard to get them for a while. I think they are available now. If you are running this, I suggest routing it similar to how I have it. Maybe you can even just put this straight to a filter, and you could put the crankcase breather, you know, whichever you prefer. But yeah, overall, I do love it as long as it's routed properly, and it does definitely help. Just do stay on top of it. Do check, like drain it once in a while. There's just that little plug right there, if you can see, it's just that bolt. So drain it once in a while. Make sure you're not getting a shit ton of fuel. There shouldn't be that much, but there will be a little bit. So keep that in mind. But yeah, overall, definitely happy with it, and I hope this helps someone out.